this hearing, it comes one day after the shooting in Colorado, 1 week after the shootings in Atlanta. This hearing was already on the books before that. Are you hopeful that all of this adds, some urgency to the proceedings today?
Absolutely. How could it not? To have two very high-profile mass shootings in less than 1 week, one just last night with 10 people killed in a supermarket. If our Senate, if our leaders, national leaders, don't take action at a time like this, when we're seeing the implications and the impact of them not taking action for far too long, when will they act? I think the American people are fed up. They're tired of seeing these shootings come over and over and over again and still no action. I can't tell you how often I hear that frustration from Americans. Why don't our leaders take action? And this is the time for them to do that. That's why I'm here today.
We don't yet know exactly what kind of weapon was used in that attack in Boulder yesterday, but you were tweeting last night about the fact that Boulder has tried to ban assault-style weapons. They tried that a few years ago, but they ultimately couldn't because those weapons are legal under state law. And you say that cities should be able to pass their own gun bans. How would that work exactly?
So depending on the way that preemption law works, which is when states prevent cities from passing their own regulations in that city in order to address the particular issues facing a city. In a lot of places like California, we do have robust state regulation, but different cities may face different issues. And so the ability to look at specific issues and then pass laws that help make that city safer is really important. And we support that because we know that it's local officials and local law enforcement that often have the most insight into what needs to be done to make their own communities safer. In the case of Colorado, the state preempts the city from passing legislation to restrict these kinds of weapons. It's an ongoing litigation right now, but we fully support the idea that in the absence of comprehensive federal reform, which is something that we advocate for in order to avoid a patchwork, we need to, at a minimum, allow cities and states where they're able to pass laws that actually have a positive impact on reducing gun violence.
And a question about that, because in terms of gun laws, Colorado, our team looked into this and found that Colorado actually rates pretty well compared to the rest of the country. And yet Colorado seems to have an inordinate amount of mass shootings. Any idea why that is?
I'd have to look very deeply into the information about Colorado gun violence to give a specific answer. But I will say that even states, and in some instances cities like Chicago, like Washington, D.C., that have really robust, comprehensive gun regulation can't prevent illegal guns from coming in from out of state. So a lot of times, even when cities and states try to regulate, it's not enough because we have these porous state borders that guns can come in through. One of the things I'll be talking about today in my testimony is the importance of having a national, universal background check system for all gun sales. What we have found is that states with weak gun laws are trafficking guns into the states with stronger gun laws. So what we need is federal and national response that makes it uniform across the country and prevents that from happening. So in a state like Colorado, they are taking steps, but oftentimes that's not enough on its own.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.